What you are looking at right now is a fully functional, database-backed real estate CRM, and we built the entire thing using just AI. From this sleek command dashboard, we can jump straight into our property portfolio. Watch this. We can create a brand new listing from scratch, drop in all the crucial specs, upload high-res images, and instantly plot our entire portfolio onto a fully interactive 3D map. We've got a dedicated hub to manage all our clients, and inside any property, we can auto-generate branded brochures and instantly schedule client viewings. Those viewings automatically sync right here into our own custom calendar. And to track the money, we have a dynamic deal pipeline that logs every single client interaction. This is the ultimate interactive real estate CRM, and today, I'm going to show you exactly how to vibe code it from absolute zero. Alright. Let's kick things off by setting up our workspace and dropping the very first prompt that would bring this CRM to life. First, we need to select our model. Gemini 3.1 Pro preview just dropped, but we're actually going to stick with the stable 3 Pro version for now. It's currently giving us slightly better performance for this. For the framework, we select Next.js. Now, into the text field, we drop our very first prompt. We are just asking it to build a simple front-end interface so we have a solid baseline to actually build upon. Before we get too deep into the code, let me quickly show you around the AI Studio interface so you know exactly what superpowers we have at our disposal. Jumping into the next window, we are inside our newly created app. Gemini 3 Pro is already grinding out the results. You can see the live timer showing exactly how long Gemini has been working. And if you want to know exactly what's happening under the hood, click on Show Details. This gives you a fully transparent step-by-step breakdown of how it's solving the task. Let's look at a few settings we'll definitely need later. Up in the chat settings, you can hot swap the model at any time. You can share the app or use the publish button later so people can access it via a link. The versioning tab is going to be super important. If a prompt completely breaks things, we just use this to jump back to a previous working state. Under Secrets, we'll drop the API keys our app needs to function. And finally, under Integrations, we'll eventually activate Google Sign-In, and you can use GitHub to export the whole project. Now that we have our initial front-end layout, it's time to give this app a real brain by connecting it to a robust backend. Okay, the first result actually looks really good. The prompt was super broad, so the buttons and KPIs on the dashboard are just placeholders for now. We'll just keep pushing forward with more prompts to shape this into a proper real estate CRM. The front end is coming together piece by piece, so it's time to hook up the backend so our data actually saves. I also want a login and sign up screen to keep our app and data secure. For this, we are using Google Firebase. Click on Create a new Firebase project. We give the project the exact same name as our AI Studio web app. We can just turn off analytics for now, and then we wait a quick second for the project to load. Once we're in the Firebase dashboard, we need to add our AI Studio app to the project. Click on Add App and select the web application icon. I type in the app name one more time and click Register. We don't need Firebase hosting because we're going to launch the app via Google Cloud Run later. Firebase then generates our Firebase config. We literally just copy that, jump back, and tell AI Studio to establish a connection to Firebase using this config. Next up, we need to lock down our app and make sure only authorized users can actually log in and see this data. After that prompt runs, we get our requested login screen. But here is the trick. We have to actually activate the login and registration inside Firebase. Go under Build, select Authentication, and click on Get Started. Choose email/password. Activate the email/password toggle and hit Save. The user view here will eventually list everyone who registers in our app. Let's test it out. Back in the app, we click on Access Request and enter an email and password. We are logged in immediately. And if we check Firebase authentication, we show up as a registered user. Firebase also automatically assigns a unique ID per user, which is how we'll assign files and settings to them later. With our users secured, let's build out the core feature. A live database powering a fully interactive 3D map. Obviously, after just 2 prompts, the app doesn't do much yet, so let's tackle that. In our next prompt, our goal is to create a 3D map using Mapbox to display our properties. Inside the prompt, we tell it to use a Firestore database as the central hub for all our information. Go back under Build, select Firestore database, and click on Create database. We choose the standard edition, pick a suitable location, and start directly in production mode. You can start in test mode, but you have to remember to switch it to production later. or your rules are wide open and it causes massive security issues. Next, click on the Rules tab. These define who can change the database. We quickly adjust these so the user is allowed to change their own data, like their username. By the way, all the prompts and core code snippets for this Firebase setup are waiting for you in our community Discord, so you can start building immediately. Of course, things don't always work on the first try, so let me show you how we hook up our API tokens and squash our very first bug. Okay, the prompt finishes, and now the app is demanding a Mapbox token to load the 3D map. Easy. Just create a free Mapbox account, copy your public token, paste it straight into AI Studio, and click Apply. The connection is live. That exact principle works for any external package or API you want to integrate. Now, the 3D map isn't loading yet, and I have no idea where the error is. So, we just run a quick debugging prompt and let Gemini handle the rest. After a bit of time, we see the Mapbox integration worked, and the interactive map is live. The properties are just placeholders for now. At the bottom, it shows the correct email, and we can smoothly log out and log back in. A real estate app is absolutely nothing without high-quality images, so we need to set up a dedicated storage solution to handle our media. Next step, building the properties panel. With this prompt, we are telling the app to save data to the Firestore database, but simultaneously use storage for saving high-res property images. Back to Firebase. Go under Build, then Storage. To activate this, the Firebase project has to be upgraded to the Blaze plan, which just means you pay for what you use. We upgrade the plan by attaching a billing account to the project. Then, we create the storage by selecting a location, and once again choosing between production or test mode. We are sticking to our guns and selecting production mode. Perfect. We have our backend storage for saving and fetching files. Just like the database, we have rules here restricting who can edit, upload or delete files. Now that our storage is live, we need to wire it up to the front end and force the property panel to actually handle our uploads correctly. After the prompt, the dashboard is looking pretty good. It built the properties panel and even generated a test property. But when we click on it, error. Instead of doing a deep manual error analysis, we can just let Gemini analyze and fix its own bugs. We just click on Fix, and Gemini figures out the problem. We check under Properties, and it actually fixed it. We can now see the detailed property view. However, uploading images doesn't work. The reason? We hadn't adjusted those storage rules yet. We make sure it's set so registered users can upload and edit files, and then we let Gemini automatically fix the remaining errors. We jump back to the property page. This time, it independently added placeholder images, and we can successfully add our own photos to the property. If we check Firebase Storage, the images are right there. Let's polish this up by making sure we can actually create, edit, and delete our properties seamlessly, right from the UI. In the next step, I want to squash the bugs in the property panel and add the final features. We need an Add Property button to create new listings and save crucial data. Also, right beneath the property details, we want a small section showing matching customers whose search criteria fit this specific property. Okay, so the Add Property button was actually there the whole time, just in a terrible color. The data query seems to work. We enter some random test data here, but image uploads are failing again. So I do another round of debugging, but this time I explicitly explain to Gemini what errors and warnings are showing up in the log. An error is still popping up, so we just let Gemini run a fix on it one more time. Let's try it again. It works. We can create a property, the info saves, and the images save. In a fresh prompt, we tell it to fix the broken buttons and functions so we can actually edit or delete a property. The prompt ensures that when we do this, the data is also edited or deleted inside Firebase. Alright? We can now edit and delete properties. It syncs and saves perfectly. Even on the front dashboard, it correctly displays that we only have one active listing. With the properties looking good, it's time to build out the business side of the CRM, managing our contacts and tracking our sales pipeline. New prompt. Now we want to create the contact section. We want to be able to set up search requests and link them directly to the properties. Okay, let's add a contact using some random dummy data. We can edit this contact, including their search query. And look at that. They are automatically matched with the appropriate property. The filters work perfectly. It all saves straight to the Firebase Firestore database, and we can see all our saved contacts sitting right there. Next prompt, creating and improving the deals window. Again, saving and linking everything in Firestore. In the new version, we jump straight into the deals window. We get this really cool Kanban board. We can upload documents here and log notes or activities for the deal. It's all placeholders for now, but you can easily adapt these features for whatever you need. Let's wire up the action buttons to make things interactive, and then take a hard, honest look at where the AI actually messed up. Next, we fix the property buttons, generate brochure, and schedule viewing. Also, start deal and message inside the context tab need to be clickable. Now, clicking generate brochure actually creates something, a PDF in the corporate design of our web app. It's missing the images, but the core principle works. The data is all there. For schedule viewing, it successfully pulls the contacts and lets you select a date and time for the calendar. But the calendar doesn't actually exist yet, so nothing really happens. Let's make some further adjustments. Honestly, we should be seeing the test property in Berlin on the map right now. But weirdly, we aren't. The calendar functions, but the design is absolutely terrible. The messages area technically works, but the emails aren't actually sending or arriving. It's just a placeholder. Instead of fighting it, we are going to restore the previous version. It's way better to go through the tasks individually. Gemini definitely overlooked and skipped a bunch of things here, so let's try it again, one by one. Since the AI got a bit overwhelmed, we're going to step back, use our version control, and tackle these broken features one by one. First task, the global search bar needs to automatically search all of Firestore. The map should only display active listings, and we want 3D buildings on the map, not just 2D. We reload the app. The search unfortunately isn't working, we'll have to adjust that. But let's fire off the second task right away. In the Deals tab, we need a few adjustments. The button color is terrible, and we need some color coding for the different stages. Let's see. The Deal button is just being stubborn and won't change. But the color-coded sorting for the Deal stages works perfectly, and we can jump directly to the properties straight from here. After a bit more debugging, the drag and drop works flawlessly now. You can pull deals into their respective stages and keep a perfect overview. We also have a user area where you can set your profile picture and username. Now, let's transform this empty map into a fully interactive 3D experience. We push a few more adjustments to the calendar. After a few tweaks, the dashboard is starting to look really interesting. The map should be visible in the property area right now, but we see nothing. Let's debug it again. Sometimes in AI Studio, you can just upload reference images to make it crystal clear what your goal is. Thanks to Gemini, this actually works incredibly well and reliably. We debug it one more time, and the map loads. The properties display perfectly. Super cool. The overlay pop-up still needs a little bit of a redesign, but it functions really well. The street view matches perfectly, and clicking on View Property Details takes us straight into the property. To wrap things up, we're going to add one final layer of security, and I'll show you exactly how to export this app out into the real world. At this point, for security reasons, I always add the password prompt before the login screen. This ensures nobody unauthorized gets access to the preview. I just tell AI Studio what password to use right in the prompt. Last but not least, publishing. Open the panel. We can go through Share or use the Publish tab. Click on Get Started. You'll need a proper Google Cloud project for this, which you just create and import. Normally, this generates a public link for you. Currently, live publishing is locked down because AI Studio rolled out some updates last week, but you can easily publish via GitHub or just download the zip file here and host it yourself. That's exactly what the workflow would look like through the publish area. Then you can simply hit publish or republish whenever you change the code. And that is exactly how you vibe code a massive real estate CRM from scratch. If you want to build this yourself, I've uploaded every single prompt we used today straight into our community Discord. The link is right down in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.